Okay, so what we're going to look at is start with what we call trigonometry. So trigonometry. Nometry. Trigonometry has to do with right triangles, their sides and their angles and how they're related to each other. So when we have a right triangle, we're going to have these two sides that we call the legs. And then the longest side right there, which we call the hypotenuse. So if we wanted, so let's say we have, so let's just say we wanted to focus on this angle right here for all of these triangles. So what this means is that the side on the other, the side on the other part of the angle, on the other side of the angle, is going to be the opposite side, which makes this side right here, the one next to the angle, we're going to call that the adjacent side. And then of course, the longest side, which we call the hypotenuse. So the sine is going to be based on that angle. So let's say that's angle A. So what we're going to do is say that that sine of A is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now let's say we have the same situation here. This is angle A, we have the opposite, we have the adjacent, and we have the hypotenuse. The cosine of A is going to be the adjacent part over the hypotenuse. And finally, same situation here, A, we have opposite, we have adjacent, and we have hypotenuse. The tangent is going to be the opposite side over the adjacent side. And so this is going to make a little more sense once we actually put numbers to it. So let's look at this first example where we have sine of A and sine of B. Well, we have our angles right here. So what we're going to do is say, okay, sine of A is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So sine of A is 6 over 10, which can actually be simplified to 3 over 5. And then sine of B is going to be the opposite of the angle B, which is 8, and the hypotenuse, which is 10. So 8 over 10, which simplifies to 4 over 5. So let's look at the other part. Cosine of A. Now cosine of A is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. The adjacent is the side that is next to the angle that is not the hypotenuse. So we would say that 16 is the adjacent side to A. So 16 over the hypotenuse, 20. And of course, we want to simplify if we can, which we can, to 4 over 5. And then if we're talking about angle B, the adjacent side is 12, so 12 over 20, which simplifies to 3 over 5. And finally, let's look at the tangents. The tangent of A is going to be the opposite side over the adjacent side. So the opposite side is 15, and the adjacent side is 20. Now, if we're looking at tangent of B, and well, 15 over 20, forgot to say that we can simplify that to 3 over 4. And now 15 over 20, or sorry, tangent of B is going to be the opposite side, which is 20, with the adjacent side of 15. So it's actually going to be flipped. And we simplify that to 4 over 3.